Hi guys, it's Ashley from Art 11011A. I am doing my Project 9 for this week, and I can actually do a video blog this week instead of writing it. I'm feeling a bit better. Anyway, so let's get started. We had to read Eva and Franco again, and I actually think I almost liked this week's reading better than last week, even though I did enjoy last week's reading a lot. I think this week's reading was a lot easier for me to understand and to relate to, and I think that last week I was kind of lost, like, why are they doing all this kind of stuff? You know, it makes sense, but I didn't get it at the same time. And this week was kind of like, oh, it all makes sense, like, oh, they're doing this because, you know, they're trying to make a point, and these chapters kind of help make that point to me. I think that's kind of why you had us read it, so I like that. But, I think when I was reading the Stolen Pieces piece, and it's talking about, fading paint, oh wait, no, I think that was in It's Always 6 o'clock? I don't know, one of the readings, I think it was Stolen Pieces, and you were talking about the loss of pieces or paint, and I think it does really, helps value over time, just because you see how old it is, and with the wear and tear it shows that it's been appreciated, it's been used. I mean, obviously you're not allowed to touch them or anything, and the wear would go a lot faster, but with age, you see how things are still appreciated. But and I think that it really keeps that original sentimentality, maybe. I think if you take something and you refix it and you repaint it, it's not wholesome. It's almost like the game Telephone. It's going to slowly change over time, you know, which can make something else that's also great, but I think that it kind of deters away from the original piece. But, like, again, it makes another piece of art, and if you were to take it and recreate it into making another piece that was evolved, that could be appreciated as well, and I think that that would be a better route to go. I think with Darko Maver's art, I've been waiting to read this chapter. I kind of waited for you guys to give us the okay, but I've always looked at the pictures and I was kind of excited. I actually have the book open right now, so I'm looking at them, and no, I'm not a creeper that likes gore and blood and guts. I just thought it was really cool because I did kind of skim it before when we first got the books, and I liked the concept of taking realistic photos or scenarios and showing them with a dummy or whatever, so that you can see the real effects, not just what you see in your mind, what you think is going to happen when something happens to someone. But the twist behind it that you see, that I really like at the end, I actually like dotted it. He says, I'm going to quote a lot actually this time because I really liked a lot of the things that were said in these chapters. I really liked how they were put together. Anyway, he says, a mythic figure semiotically constructed in virtual and media spaces, Darko Maver may represent a revelation about our own dark unconscious. It would be easy just to vilify the art established in media. What is more difficult is recognizing our own capability in our easy way to seduce by our own technological wonders. Narcissus' crime was not just self-absorption, but utter neglect of its fellow creatures. Darko Maver begs the question: have we been so preoccupied with looking at ourselves in the media's dark mirrors that we can no longer see each other, even when we cry out in agony? And I really like that, because that last line, because it kind of makes you think we're all kind of consumed in our own little world. We're all kind of consumed with, you know, oh, what movie can I download, what can I do, that you're not really paying attention to what's really going on worldwide, globally, even in just your own community, outside your own front door. I think that it really shows kind of where we're going in society with culture, and not just in California, but all over the world. Worldwide, we're getting, you know, the world's so big, yet it's so small at the same time with the technological advances, yet we keep ourselves also isolated at the same time. So it's kind of like we're trying to use this technology to make ourselves better, but we're destroying ourselves at the same time. So it kind of is like, yeah, it's dark and twisted on the outside, but there's an even more society and cultural twist on the inside. And I think that it makes you respect this art more when you look at it. I really like this art, not because, like I said, I'm not into the blood and gore and gross, because I'm really not, but I really respect what they're trying to say, and it makes me really enjoy the art. And when we were reading United We Stand, I've been kind of waiting to read this one too. I saw the pictures, and when we started reading it last week, I was kind of like, oh, that's really cool, and a few weeks ago, we started reading about United We Stand, but I still didn't get what we're doing with United We Stand, but, yeah, it's really, I like the whole concept of, hey, let's come up with everything but a movie, and get it out there, because it does show, I mean, I think it's kind of obvious what it's saying, you know, like, with United We Stand, it's like, they have so much power over the media, but yet, anybody can have power over the media, but Hollywood, if it comes from Hollywood, it's so glorified, it's, so overdone, and when you go to that extent to make everything so overdone, to make everything so, strong, but then have nothing, your main support, have nothing in yet, still nobody knows, and you get away with it. It really says something about, again, being isolated in our own little kind of time capsule of technology that's around us, walk down a hallway, even at the college, and you see someone, they have their laptop out, they've got their phone out, they've got their Game Boy out, and they've got their iPod earbuds in, and they don't know what's going on around them at all, and they don't know what's going on in the world. They know their friend just posted something, which is fine, and they may have just watched the latest movie, but they don't know what's going on, and that kind of is also what they're saying about the whole art world. We're so disconnected from art because we're not appreciating it, kind of, is another thing that it's saying. And then we had to read, It's Always 6 o'clock. Oh no, we had to read the play, what it means, what it says. And I really like this one. This one's really clever. This actually reminds me of something my mom would do. By putting up the plaque and saying that, oh, this is an ordinary building, we've got historical stuff everywhere, and why not glorify this building too for not having anything? It's kind of a shock, because everything everywhere else has something. This one building here that doesn't. That's just kind of the way I see it. But, I think that Eva and Franco are kind of saying, you're trying to make money off of something for its historical value, kind of makes it lose its value, because it's like, you don't want to go see something to pay for it, and, I'd rather go to a museum for free and enjoy looking at the art and learning the history behind it, just by the free will of someone saying, this is interesting, and someone wants to come see it. Not, hey, we can make a lot of money off of people wanting to see where Leonardo da Vinci lived, or, George Washington's old estate, Those are things that people don't want to pay to see necessarily, but would like to enjoy, because it's part of who we are. And when you're trying to make a profit off of something that should be sentimental to us, it kind of is, in a way, can be considered disgusting, just depending on how you look at it. I kind of think I covered everything so far. I think I talked about the Hollywood. I'm looking at the questions right now. Oh, I didn't talk about Always 6 o'clock. Okay, so It's Always 6 o'clock. I'm always looking at these pictures even when we don't have to read, and I think my favorite one is the one that's actually on the cover of the book. Mickey's happy facing death, even that in our culture we're willing to face that he's like kind of like, oh, it doesn't matter, even though I'm a big Disney fan, not because it's so mainstream, but I just love, and so like unrealistic that it makes us wish we had it. I like it because a creative way to look at life. It's a different way. I appreciate the art. I love the music. So you can't, don't get mad at me for being a Disney lover. When Glenn made that comment in class a few weeks ago about he would be sad if a Disney poster was destroyed, I would be sad, but not because, something that's so pretty and beautiful and like fake and unrealistic was ruined, but because someone took the time to put that artwork up there. Someone took the time to create that artwork and destroyed it. But I wouldn't be just sad that a Disney ad was destroyed to sell a product, because to me that really doesn't matter. But if someone just put the artwork up there itself, that's something I would appreciate, and if someone bombed it, that would bother me. But at the same time, you can also appreciate the art. So for me, it's a catch-22. But when you're looking at It's Always 6 o'clock, you're kind of, I have a quote in here as well, because I like this one. He says, and It's Always 6 o'clock, appropriation, plagiarism, remixing, culture jamming, and identity simulation continue to represent the core to Eva and Franco Mattes' artistic strategy. Nothing is original, not even the title that the Mates inherited from Lewis Carroll. Yet here more than elsewhere, they managed to prove that appropriation can breathe life into cultural scenes that appeared to be dead and buried under the mildew of its respectful conformist use. So they're saying that it's still art, not because, they're not saying it's. They're saying that it's not considered not art because it's used out of context. They're saying it is art because it's used out of its original context, reformulated with a whole new aspect, a whole new idea, to give you a different outlook using the same media, the same ideas and cultures, and like by using Pooh Bear, which you see as a cuddly teddy bear you want to play with. You see the shows, or you see Wonder Woman using her whip to kick the bad guy's ass, and she's totally cool. And in this, she's teaming up with, Homer and Bart, and you're by using it out of context, you're giving the person the character a different characteristics to be something else. So it's like same person playing a part in a movie, but playing a different character. So I really like, I think that that's kind of how I think of it. So I think of it as art. Like when an actor acts, they're creating art. They're being a different character, but it's still the same person. So to me, that's kind of the same. So I like that by reusing, it's almost like recycling. You could use a picture and reuse it and totally destroy it and create something totally different. Or not destroy it, but evolutionize it. And that's what I really think Eva and Franco are doing. I've never thought of art being this way before until I started this class, but I really do. It really has broadened my whole view of what art is. Even though I do consider everything art, there's types of art I didn't know about before, and I like that this book kind of brings that to my attention. So yeah, I really like this week's reading, and I will see you guys all in class. Bye.